What's up, Atlanta? My name is Megan Volpert, and I am here coming to you live from my home office. Not live, but it is my home office, and these books behind me are books that I have actually read. This book is a book that I hope you have actually read, and if not, I hope you are going to be interested to pick up a copy by the time this video is over. The anthology is called Closet Cases, Queers on What We Wear, and it is a full color book featuring both photos and text that discuss and try to bring to the forefront the idea behind why what we wear is a thing that matters. Especially in the time of book tours all being dumpster fires, because we're all at home waiting out the pandemic situation. What are you wearing right now? Personally, I am wearing my brand new Pride t-shirt and, some stretchy shorts, some PJ type stuff, which is what a lot of people are into right now. But also, we are thinking about when we're broadcasting to YouTube or in a Zoom meeting, what is appropriate to wear? What kind of messages do you want to send? As you are purchasing masks to go about your essential tasks outside your house, what kind of, this is prime real estate here, this billboard that is covering your half your face. And what are you saying with the mask itself? And what are you saying with things that might be printed on the mask? So I think people are really investigating fashion right now, and that's all people, not just queer people. But queers have a special relationship to fashion because we do a lot of signaling to each other by means of our wardrobe. And so a lot of the pieces speak to how we make the choice to do that, how we see ourselves in others based on the clothes that they wear, what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel seen. And it was a really fun book to edit because every story turns out to be relatable in some way or another. The writers that are featured in this particular gig all live in or near the Atlanta metro area. This particular virtual gig was supposed to be a live event taking place at the Georgia Center for the Book. Thanks very much to Joe Davidge for inviting us to do a virtual gig in its place. And the thing about Atlanta is that it's in the South. And the thing about queers and the South is, well, there's lots of things about queers in the South, right? So I wanted to bring together some contributors that could speak to that a little bit. So whether your interest is black t-shirts or high heels or chest binders or just visual activism in general, understanding how what you wear says something about you and being able to confidently guide that conversation in the direction you want it to go. Hopefully, you'll find a lot of food for thought here. Uh, and joy. Freaking joy. Because you know what? Closets are for clothes, and more people who are queer should come out of the closet and they should use their wardrobe to do that. Just my 12 cents. Hopefully, at the end of this video, you may be interested to give us your 12 cents. The bookseller for this event is Karis Books, which is an incredible feminist indie bookstore located here in Atlanta, last of the greats in this country. So please do support your local independent bookstore. But if that is not an option for you for whatever reason, you can also find the book on Amazon. It's published by a small press, Atalia Press, and we thank Aaron Wood for giving us a platform. There's 75 of us in this book, and we have a lot to say in a lot of different ways about what it takes to be an activist right now and how we can use our wardrobe to accomplish that. I'm going to read you just my piece from this collection, then I'm going to let the other contributors do the heavy lifting on their own work. My piece is about a Timex watch that I wore for a long time. Here's the picture that accompanies it. That's the watch face, and that's the collection of bands that I had that went with it. I'm not wearing a watch during the summer because it's hot and I'm in the house, and who cares what time it is, right? Do you even know what time it is? Do you even know what day it is? Blur's Day, right? It's always a little bit Blur's Day. Anyway, this piece is about my Timex watch, and it's also about being a teacher, and that is particularly the idea of time is resonating with me in this pandemic, and also the idea of teaching right now as school districts all across the country and colleges and universities all across the world are deciding what to do and how to get it done for the students that need us, that need to learn from us. How can we best accomplish that in this strange time? So enjoy, and thanks for your time today. Watchdog. Time is against us, is how most queers feel. We're always waiting for the other shoe. Even watching a polite and tidy sitcom like Will and Grace, I catch myself thinking, Jack's gonna get the shit beat out of him any day now. Or AIDS. Or jail. Or homelessness. I have two openly queer friends who work in high schools like I do. They both retired this year. The way we counted those days down, you'd think we were in NYC for NYE 1999. If you're queer and you finish out your career by natural means instead of getting fired, that is living the dream. The Timex Weekender is a cheap dial that makes a big sound. Tick, tick, tick. All the time. Time was coming hard for me and I started running. Worked faster, thought faster, stopped for no one. Accomplishments as far as the eye could see. This $10 watch ran me. I couldn't stand it. I gave it away a few days after I put it on, by which time it had aged me several months. A lot of other things happened over many moons, and I have survived them all. The person I am now meditates about 20 minutes a day, every day, tapping the ancestors. And you know what they say? Tick, tick, tick. How precious it is to finally respect a few of one's elders. How invigorating to have lasted one more minute in this queer body in this strange life. How brave to simply keep showing up, and how aggravating for the other bastards that one's accomplishments keep aggregating. Also accumulating are a diverse bunch of watch bands because I ponied up another $10 to reclaim my Timex. The person I am now happily straps on this constant reminder to hold steady. Sometimes, in a contentious meeting, my admin will sit back in his chair and I can almost see him calculating whether this is the hill I die on. It never has been so far. And while he's thinking about it, in the hostile silence of the conference room, I am telegraphing him that queer agenda. Tick, tick, tick. Enough about me. What about you? Again, thanks for watching. We have 5 or 6 other contributors lined up for you, and they have a lot to say. So enjoy.
Oh, hi there. Just reading through this wonderful book, Closet Cases, Queers, and What We Wear. It's a really great book that is chock full of really beautiful personal stories of folks around the world of different sizes, ages, gender identities, colors. And there's a lot of visual activism in here. And visual activism is something that is very, very important to me, as it is something that really bridges conversation and dialogue and change, social change and political change as well, through meaningful connections that open eyes, open hearts, open minds. And so I'm going to read my piece that I wrote in here, and I'm sure you'll be very shocked when you learn the title, The Art of the Bow Tie. I used to wear pre-tied bow ties. I admit it. They're easy and flawless every time. When friends started commenting on my impeccable knotting, I had to either admit the truth or divert the conversation. Authenticity demanded I learn how to tie and master the self-tie bow tie. Bow ties are the cape, the shield, the removed Clark Kent glasses of my visual activism superhero identity. They carry an air of intellectualism, formality, nerdiness, and style acumen. Wearing a bow tie can be perceived as an aggressive lack of concern for what other people think. A woman in a bow tie subverts the gender paradigms of fashion even further. I remember the awe I felt the first time I saw an image of Marlene Dietrich in a bow tie and a top hat. The quote below the photo read, "I dress for myself, not for the image, not for the public, not for the fashion, not for men." I am no Marlene Dietrich. While I dress for myself first and foremost, I do dress for the image, the public, and to be visible. My bow ties offer a symbolic optimism that frequently provoke dialogue and connections with others, driving visibility, awareness. and social change. After significant practice and frustration, I've achieved mastery of the art. No need for a mirror. I take pride in teaching and inspiring others. Personally, I prefer an imperfect knot, mostly as evidence that it was self-tied. It also tends to engage an occasional observer to kindly point out the imperfection, and when appropriate, offer to adjust it. It's not about being brave, it's about being myself. It's about breaking arbitrary rules to make it easier for those who came after, so that they can fully realize their own identity, voice, and style. Happy Sunday.
Hi, I'm Colin Kelly, and my essay in Closet Cases is called The Timeless Black T-Shirt, and it begins with an epigraph by Georgia O'Keeffe. Don't you know, I always wear black. I've lost track of how many black T-shirts I've owned over the last 30-odd years. From overpriced Calvin Klein to cheap Walmart, a plain black T-shirt is not a staple of my wardrobe. It is my wardrobe. I started wearing my uniform of black tees and jeans in 1987 when I was still in high school. I never cared about fashion trends, and shopping for clothes was anathema to me. I just wanted to get dressed and get on with my day without having to think about it. A black t-shirt is a classic, minimalist, and functional look that works for all occasions. When I give a reading or attend a social event, I dress up the uniform with a black blazer. Formal events too. In winter, I add a black sweater or coat. For years, I was told my wardrobe was boring and unimaginative and that I should add a splash of color. There were times when even I thought of myself as a freak for always wearing the same clothes. But then I discovered that I was in the company of other great artists and leaders. Georgia O'Keeffe said her decision to wear black was not preference, but practicality. If she started worrying about picking out clothes to wear, she would have no time for painting. That was an aha moment for me. I too would rather be creating than worrying about clothes. Similar feelings have been expressed by Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, famous for his black turtlenecks and jeans, President Barack Obama, who distilled his White House wardrobe to navy and gray suits, and Albert Einstein, who had a closet full of the same suit. When Sharon Stone infamously wore her black Gap t-shirt to the 1996 Academy Awards ceremony, I felt vindicated. After all these years, I cannot picture myself wearing anything else. It's become a personal trademark. Here's a simple truth. Fashion trends come and go, but a black t-shirt is forever. Timeless. Buy yourself a dozen and wear them proudly and often, or every day.
Hi, I'm Lisa Nanette Allender, and I participated in Closet Cases Queers on What We Wear. So I'll be reading my essay in just a moment. You noticed my shoes at the opening, and that's going to feature in the essay prominently. I have to take off my glasses to read up close. I remember wearing the most outrageous clothes, long before I was out. At 13 years old, I wrote to Eileen Ford at the Ford Model Agency. I sent her a school photo and my age, height, and weight. I was 4'11" and 80 pounds. When I found the letter in our family's rural mailbox with a postmark from New York City, I swooned. I floated back to the house, screaming about the letter personally signed by agency head Eileen Ford. You are very pretty, Lisa. Since you are still quite young, should you reach your height minimum, please do contact me. Our minimum height requirement is 5'8". I was addicted to fashion magazines. I loved seeing the latest trends and then making them my own. For instance, when tie-dye was hot, I'd wear bell-bottom pants and a hand-dyed, somewhat matching long-sleeve shirt instead of a halter, suede fringe vest with bleached blue jeans. I would wear lingerie as outerwear. Long before Madonna was like a virgin, I was donning lacy bras and camisoles, wearing them with blue jeans and pencil-slim miniskirts. For a long time, I thought my exhibitionistic attire was just that, exhibitionistic, a search for attention. At the same time, I was very insecure. I actually believed, because I was of small build, small-chested, that no one would notice me. I now know that wearing those clothes was my queer way of owning my body. I knew then that women were powerful. Hadn't I been attracted to my female teachers? Mrs. Farfante's very dark eyes, the way she tossed her head, her Cuban accent. Sister Maureen Michael's blue eyes, sand-colored brows, her heavy bosom trapped in a nun's unwieldy 1960s floor-length black and white habit. When the habits were modified a few years later, I got to see a few strands of her glorious sandy brown hair peeking out from the new blue veils. The mid-length blue gabardine habit flowed over her globe-like breasts. I loved that she chose a boy's name as part of her chosen Married to Christ name. I remember being disappointed that she'd chosen it only because it was her family of origin's brother's name. I attended parochial school from 7th through 9th grade, and when a new public school was being constructed just 1 mile from where I lived, my parents gave me a choice. Did I want to attend public school? I already had a good foundation, they said, and I had one question. Will I still have to wear a uniform? No, you can wear whatever you want. It's public school, Lisa. I imagined the miniskirts I would wear, the midriff tops that would be called sleazy. I would get to buy platform heels, high heels, because it always begins with shoes. My obsession with high heels began that summer of 1972. My first pair of high heels were white platform shoes with a 3-inch heel. I graduated high school wearing 4-inch black high heels. Decades later, these metallic fuchsia heels would scream from the shelves at my local Macy's, "Buy me, wear me." I wear them with mini skirts, I wear them with jeans, I wear them because they are ridiculously femme. They are almost a parody of femme. They empower me, excite me. They are my click your heels together and you're home shoes. I want to thank every one of you for supporting Closet Cases, Queers on What We Wear, and I hope that you'll enjoy the essays that are included in this book. And I also want to thank Megan Volpert for being a wonderful editor. Thank you all so very much.
I don't think much about clothes. I mostly wear what is comfortable. I can't tie a tie anymore. I don't buy shoes that need polishing. I do think about clothes when I give a public talk or reading. I have a half a dozen shirts I bought, mainly on trips to Ghana, that I like to wear because they are colorful and handmade, and the fabric dazzles with color and pattern. The shirt I'm wearing in the photo in the book is from my last trip to Ghana 3 years ago. My friend Nuumo helped me shop for it. There's some fancy shops in Accra, but the ones I like are the pop-up shops in Osu. They are on the street, and that is where the shirt came from. It does not have a label that identifies who designed it, but I paid a little more for it because it has the Adinkra symbol for God on it, which makes it a little luckier. I'm also wearing 3 bracelets of beads made for me personally by Nuumo. I love African beads, and the ones in Ghana are especially lovely. Nuumo Gabelinfo III was an artist named Joe when I met him almost 30 years ago. When I returned to celebrate his 50th birthday, he was high priest of the Ga people, a tribe of several million that live along the Atlantic coast of Ghana. His role is part pope and part chief justice for his people. For a while, he had a Judge Judy-style TV show on one of the local stations. He dresses only in white and never wears shoes. People on the street know him and give him sway. He has a lot on his mind, but he relaxes when he is stringing beads together on a piece of elastic that he seals by striking a match that singes the ends together. The beads are heavy and full of Nuumo's good energy. Public readings are often exercises in vulnerability for LGBTQ people. Having some extra magic on hand makes work a little more comfortable. In the photograph, I am reading at Care's bookstore, the old location, in Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Jess Taylor, and this is The Clothes I Wear. You resent the way I look, saying you are making a statement, nose crinkled in distaste. The knotting of this floral tie around my neck The deep ocean blue suspenders that waterfall and curve over my feminine chest are not about you. It's not about how gay I can look, so I can watch discomfort spread across your face. I wear this suit and tie to officiate a wedding, to celebrate a love full of mutual weirdness. The best man helped me tighten the knot before the ceremony, thumped my shoulders and said, "You look dapper as fuck."
Hey guys, my name's Rowan, and I'm a proud contributor to Megan Volpert's awesome book, Closet Cases, and I just wanted to do a quick video to give you guys a little insight into my piece, and also talk about some of the favorite pieces that I've got in my wardrobe. Now, what I wrote for Closet Cases was just a little short anecdote about the moment I realized that I was non-binary. And it came when I was getting ready for a drag show my freshman year of college, and wanting to put on menswear for the first time, I decided that I probably needed a binder for it to look good, a chest binder. So I bought one and put it on, and just sort of had this epiphany when I dressed with the binder under my clothes, that I had never really felt quite so at home in my own skin before. And I had always tried really hard to sort of perform hyper-femininity and sort of make womanhood my own, but I had always sort of felt fake doing it. And ironically, me putting on a silly costume and prancing around on stage was the time that I felt really real for the first time. And I pretty much never looked back after that. I do use they them pronouns, but I don't really limit myself just to menswear. My wardrobe really runs the gamut from really masculine to really feminine. But one thing I do wear a lot is just my binders, and on a day-to-day basis I usually wear, a lot of the times, a button down, especially if I'm working or something. And my jeans, I keep those pretty regular, and I chose a button down today so I could show you the binder and what it looks like. It's just this little black, sort of half tank deal that's got this canvas patch in front that flattens everything out, and spandex in back so it can stretch. This is a little too tight for me. It shrank in the wash. Side note, don't wear binders that are too small. Do as I say, not as I do. But with no further ado, I can show you guys what I have in my wardrobe, what I'm most proud of. So let's see. So I sort of decided to do something kind of fun and arrange it from sort of most masculine to most feminine sort of stuff. So here's some of the stuff that I wear when I want to really mask it up. Here's a vest that I got from a thrift store in Athens, Georgia, that I don't get to pull out often enough, frankly, but this is really cute. It can be layered, honestly, with t-shirts or anything you want, really, long sleeve button-downs, whatever. Here's one of the button-downs that I like. I got it from the boys section of Old Navy, because of course, and I like to layer that also with t-shirts a lot of the time, or just on its own. Got a pair of regular old black slacks. I like those a lot. They're great for work or just any time you want to just look a little bit more dressed up than jeans. And here's a binder that actually fits me. It's both all the binders that I have are from GC2B. They're a fantastic company. Highly recommend them. This is just one of their nude half tank binders. And right here, I've got a set of really comfy black overalls that I think I got from Junkman's daughter's brother in Little 5 Points, which is super cool. These are really comfy and really multi-purpose. They're kind of genderless. And so here are also my really funky patterned slacks that are super comfortable. And I get a lot of compliments on these all the time, and I really like compliments, so I like to wear those. But yeah, these can really go either way, kind of depending on the top I choose to pair them with. If it's a button down, it's more masculine. If it's like, I don't really have any feminine tops, but you know, in theory, it would work that way. And here is a really interesting garment that I think I got from Charlotte Russe ages and ages ago. It is a bodysuit, so this like snaps in the leg zone. And this is actually what I wore to another drag show when I was doing a sort of faux queen bit, and that was actually really fun. I thought it would freak me out to sort of perform femininity in that sort of setting, but it actually really didn't. It felt just as much a costume kind of as anything else. And here's another utterly ridiculous little garment that is also a bodysuit. And I really like to pair this with like a leather skirt and just these enormous black platform boots for a real statement look. And here is something that I got from Forever 21, God, years ago. And yes, it's too tall to really see the whole thing, but it's a giant robe, essentially made out of black lace. And that's another one of my sort of rare bits that I don't take out often, but it's one of my favorites. So yeah, that's my wardrobe, and that's my piece. I just want to say that no matter how I'm presenting, masc or femme or something in between, I'm always non-binary, and I'm secure in that now. It's an honor to be included in this book and to speak to people here in this cast today. And I really hope everybody else in this book keeps on telling their stories and having fun, and it's been a pleasure.